to the DMV podcast, Real Talk and Real Estate. My name is Arial Pegues. I'm your co-host today with my other co-hosts, Cher Castillo
Hi.
and Arnita Greene.
Hello.
Check us out on Thursdays. You can watch our podcast on YouTube, listen to us on Spotify, or you can check us out on Apple Podcasts. Look out for a new episode every Thursday between 4 and 5. That's when we drop our episodes. I'd like to start out by introducing our guest today, Grindstone in the building.
What's up, everybody? Thank you very much for that.
Our topic today is everything you need to know about crypto and NFTs, and we have an expert here today. I want you to tell us a little bit about yourself, and then if you have social media, share your handles.
Okay, cool. What's up? I'm known as Grindstone, and just to start off, on social media on Instagram is grind_stone, and I believe that's my name on Twitter. But if you don't find that on Twitter, it's just look up Grindstone Universal on Twitter, because I think I might have changed my name, but if you look up Grindstone Universal, you'll find me on Twitter. My website is grindstoneuniversal.com. So none of those represent cryptocurrency. They all represent my lifestyle-based clothing brand. And I operate a store out of here in Washington, D.C. in Adams Morgan, and it's known as Grindstone. It also has an addendum to it that's its own brand, Peace in the Air, which is my cannabis brand. And so I am one who goes to get the bag. That's what I do in various ways. And so, so I'm when I get interested in something, I get really interested in it, but it's not always for the purpose of getting money, but I like to direct myself in directions of interest that will at least have an outcome that will be financially successful or beneficial to me if I do it well. But that's not really how I make my decisions. At heart, I'm an artist, and really by trade, I'm an artist. I also do music, and my name is Grindstone. If you look on, your Apple Music, Spotify, all that. But when it comes to, so that's a little bit about me and all of the ways that I get into things in terms of when I get into things, I really get into them, like I said. So crypto and NFTs have been one of those things.
Wonderful, wonderful. Just so everybody knows, we are at happy hour. This is happy hour on the Queens of the DMV. So please raise your cup, whatever it is.
What is that?
You know what I do.
You got the red cup. The bottom half of the screen is real hooded here.
Listen, it is.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for that. Sounds like you're into a lot of different things. Jack of all trades, really, and that's amazing. So let's get into the topic. How did you get started, and what's driven you in the path of crypto and NFTs?
Okay, well, I would like to start by saying everybody I don't want anybody to feel like you're too late on this train, because somebody pulled my coattail in 2011, and I felt like I was late when I hopped on it in 2017. And so I had a friend who lived a few doors down. They would have meetings there about Bitcoin. And this is in 2011, I think. At that time, people were using Bitcoin to trade on the dark web, and they were buying, like, ordering food with it. But I mean, this was before delivery food happened, but certain places accepted Bitcoin and they were using it because it was only worth a few dollars. It was worth nothing. They were telling me that I should come to the meetings and try. I went to one of the meetings and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna give you $500. Go give me some Bitcoins or whatever. At that time, I could have had several Bitcoins of $500, but I was late. I mean, well, I didn't take it seriously enough. It was kind of like if anybody tells you anything today and you kind of look at how they're living. This guy was riding a bike and you know, his lifestyle wasn't rushing me to obey. And that was me judging the book by its cover. So I never gave him the money. And then in 2017, another friend of mine who's really technologically inclined sat me down, told me how he got some money off a few cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin being one of them. And I was thinking, man, I think I missed the boat because this guy told me this a few years ago. And now you're telling me it's about to hit the wall. And then he gave me the perspective that we were only at the very beginning of it and to get involved now, at which time I got involved. I saw some gains, and then I really started studying and investing.
So, Grindstone, describe what a cryptocurrency is for your novice investor.
Okay, whenever you hear the word currency, it is something that can go from one place to another. Just keep it very simple. The same thing can carry something from one place to another. In this case, it carries value from one place to another. It is on the blockchain. What do I call it? It is in a network called the blockchain, similar to how megabytes and gigabytes are carried on internet, and we call it the internet. So we're calling this the blockchain, and cryptocurrency are the things that go from one person to another. Some of them are used as software, some of them are used as tokens that merely hold value. But if you have a Bitcoin, this Bitcoin can carry value from you to another person. The reason why blockchain, which if you can just think about internet, but it's not internet, it's blockchain. But the reason why blockchain is beneficial and why it's an evolution of internet is because internet is several lines of communication tied together like a net. Blockchain goes from the user to the other user. So from the recipient to the other recipient. If I trade between me and you, we're the only ones who are gonna know about it. Nobody else will know. It's encrypted. There you get cryptocurrency. So no one else will know that we have done what we've done. Some people are able to see that something has been done on blockchain, but they won't know from who to who. And it's just there's a level of security there because you're the only ones who know. And so cryptocurrency.
That's why I tell people, like, crypto is one thing, and they try to compare it to stocks, and I'm like, no, stocks are publicly traded, and it's not person to person in a sense.
Well, they're different from stocks in one way, and they are very similar to stocks when you use the tokens or the cryptocurrency coins. There are different names. So you might hear tokens, you might hear cryptocurrency coins, you might hear cryptos or like whatever, but we're referring to the same things. So some people like myself are only interested in investing in them for the value of them. That means that I am treating them like stocks in terms of the investment value. Some people build their company with certain cryptocurrencies or certain tokens because they have an actual function. So there was some time in the early 2000s, late 90s, when maybe some buildings, my friend worked at Sun Microsystems, and he said, I don't know what's going on, but people are ordering a bunch of these things, and they were modems. And so, some companies build their infrastructure using the cryptocurrency tokens. And so different people will use them for different things based on need. My need is to get the money out of it because I feel that's where the future is going. Now, currently, I'm not sure if it's the S&P, I'm not sure, but one of the stock exchanges, or it might be the stock market in general, they have 11 different sectors of items that are traded. And within the next 10 years, the 12th one will more than likely be cryptocurrency. And so at which point they will be traded on the public market like that.
So tell us the difference between crypto and NFT.
Okay. An NFT is a digital collectible. It stands for non-fungible token, NFT. I don't know who made this word fungible. I have no idea, but this is non-fungible. Fungible means duplicable. You can't trade it. You can't duplicate this fingerprint of a thing. To make it real simple, it's like if you have a book, a signed copy of a book by an author, right? Now, you might have that book, and I might have that book, but your book is special because yours is a signed copy. So, or it's like a record of, it's anything that is unique. Even though there might be several reproductions of it, you have that one. So you have that signed copy of that thing, or you have like that lithograph number 25 out of 500. You have like a special collectible. NFTs are collectibles. They have value because collectibles always have value in a collectible market.
So where do you buy an NFT?
You could buy an NFT from OpenSea.io, or I think from Rarible, Rarible. Those are sites where you can do bidding and you can buy the NFTs. And it's like just a different part of the internet because it's like the .io, but you can access it from your normal browser, and you'll see at this point several thousands of NFTs, and you can buy you can buy them.
And what are NFTs used for? What do you?
They're strictly collectibles.
Okay.
It's as if somebody was collecting rugs, like Persian rugs, or collecting art, or
I like to say baseball cards. You know what I'm saying? Like like that.
And hold on to them, and then you just hold on to them for forever, and then sell them later, or
you hold on to them for value's sake. And so, imagine if you had, I don't know, an original Picasso or something.
Okay.
It's the same. The NFTs count the same way.
Wow. Okay.
And the people who make NFTs, now, first of all, anybody can make an NFT. You have to know how to do it. So it'd be cool if you like hooked up with a person who knows how to do it. But I used to know how to do it, but it was like several steps that had to be done in a certain sequence. It's not that complicated. It's just you have to know how. It's like I compare everything to driving a stick shift. I think that learning how to drive a stick shift is more difficult than most things in technology. Like it takes you a while to learn clutch and like all that, and just, oh man, I need to turn left on a hill. So like if you know how to drive a stick, or if you ever learn how to drive a stick, this whole process is easier than that. Now, in order to actually make your own NFT, though, like I said, I forgot the steps and I don't even know where I wrote it down, but you can get somebody who does that to do it for you.
So you would hire an NFT expert? Like, where do you find such person?
Not hire anyone called an expert because they're going to charge you more. Find somebody who just like really likes technology, like who's really like who into gadgets and stuff. Like even somebody who's really into video games, like your average person. A lot of them are informed about that.
So I'm gonna say this because, like, I started getting into it because my husband was into it. Mm-hmm. But this new thing called metaverse. How does the metaverse interact with NFTs? I know we don't have metaverse, as one of our is in our title, but NFTs and metaverses are starting to work together, and I'm seeing that more, in unison as far as the way to invest.
Right. So my general rule, there's a disclaimer. My general rule is don't take advice from anybody who hasn't done it. Right. Now I've done a couple NFTs, like in terms of like actually having them. I've definitely invested in crypto. I've not dealt with the metaverse like that. But my guy, he always talks to me about it. Like he just told me the other day he bought some land in the metaverse.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how that's working. Like for people.
Yeah, so
because they're not making that anymore. So it's just like land is land.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So you like y'all being in real estate, it's the same kind of thing. So this is okay. It's also known as Web 3. So if you ever hear anybody say Web 3, they're referring to the metaverse.
Hmm.
You have to take your age back about 25, 30 years, like whatever, to when none of this existed, and think about when internet existed and people were buying websites. And people were like, you have to get the .com, and then people were saying get simple words and just .com it, so then people buy it from you. You know, like careerbuilder.com, or just like home.com. And so that would be considered land in internet. In Web3 metaverse, land is actual like video game looking land, but it's the same idea as buying a web address. GoDaddy might host, but like you might buy like a plot of land with a fence or a barn or something like that. And so like it's real video gamer esque. But it's the same concept that people were approaching .coms with, and then people moved to .nets. But then .com was the one that really like held on. You got some .orgs out there, but it's the same concept. So you're buying land in this finite place.
And then you can take your cryptocurrency and purchase a metaverse.
You could take your cryptocurrency and purchase collectibles in the metaverse.
Oh God!
Right. So in order to do any interactions with digital collectibles or NFTs, you have to use Ethereum, and Ethereum is one of the cryptocurrency tokens in cryptocurrency. It's one of the popular, powerful ones.
Wait, say that again. In order to
purchase an NFT.
Oh, you have to own Ethereum.
Yeah, you have to buy it. Ethereum. Yeah.
So I seen recently, and I want to say it was Nas, who basically re-released his album through the NFT.
Right. Yeah.
So artists are actually buying into it first.
Yeah.
And, like I'm from the era where we had LimeWire and we were downloading albums like that, and they were making buku money back then.
Yeah.
So I feel like this is a new way for artists, to capitalize on their work, but also, give fans a little, ownership in what they're doing versus what they did back then, and they didn't want us to download the music.
Right. So
that was a whole new thought.
So okay. So NFTs, the thing that makes outside of the obvious, the thing that makes NFTs different from external collectibles like baseball cards is that there's a contract written inside the coding that is totally up to the person who creates it, that is inherent in the NFT. So a lot of people write in, each person who holds it and sells it will get 20%. Well, not 20. They'll get a portion of the sale. So, for instance, if I create an NFT of whatever, and I build into it, I'm gonna get $10 or 10% of every time this is sold into perpetuity. And then Arnita, you buy my NFT. I get that. Then you sell it to Cher. I get 10% of that. And of the sale, the profit that happened with Cher, and you get that. Then Cher, if you sell it to Ariel, is that pronounced it right? Ariel?
Yeah.
Okay. Then we both get our 10% of that sale price. And it just keeps going into whoever buys it whenever. And so like that's the cool thing about NFTs. It's a way that you can not just hold something because you like it, but as it gets sold until the end of time, you can have people signed into the original contract or the sales contract of it who get a portion of the sale.
Yeah, so I think what Nas did with his NFT is he actually sold royalty rights. which, you know, if you're Michael Jackson, like that's huge, or the Beatles, that's huge. So he sold royalty rights through NFTs on his album, which, you know, that was like the first artist to ever do something like that through NFT.
Yeah, see, and that's beautiful, especially if you have somebody who has something that's really sought after. Now, you could have a whole bunch of NFTs and nobody wants what you have. But
right. It's got to be valuable.
But another thing is that you're not going to be able to buy it when everybody wants it. So then that's another thing about the speculative market of buying. You just don't you don't know what's going to be the thing. Like, I'm sure those people who created those apes or whatever, them like little digital looking apes, I'm positive they did not know it was going to go crazy like this. Like, those things are selling for hundreds of thousands of dollars.
That's how I feel about The Sims.
Right. Yeah. It's such a brand new space that people are taking their chances on what's going to be worth holding.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of cool that people create their own, because, you know, who knows what moves you're going to make to make people want what you have. And you just don't know, you know? So like, if you found artists are releasing music on NFTs the same way artists used to release music on vinyl. And if you had like a limited run of a record on vinyl that, say, John Lennon did or something, that thing is worth something crazy right now. And so this is what happens in the NFT world. The only thing, the NFT is not going to warp in the sun like a record. And every time you sell it or every time it's sold, you're going to get something off of that. So that's like those are the basics about the NFT.
Yeah. So do you get paid your profits paid back to you in Ethereum?
Yes.
And then you have to sell the Ethereum to get the cash value.
Convert it. Yeah.
Okay. It's a lot of moving parts here.
Right.
Yeah.
So how would I get started? And
Okay.
So, like, please break this down.
Yeah.
For me.
So the entry point into cryptocurrency is your dollars in your bank. You can connect to one of the exchanges, one of the cryptocurrency exchanges, just like on your phone or online. And the most popular one is called Coinbase. So if you go to Coinbase.com, you can go there, and on there you can convert your dollars. First of all, you can put your dollars into Coinbase, and then you can decide what you buy. And there are several tokens available: Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana. I mean, there's a whole bunch of them, and you can buy whichever ones you want, and you'll be able to hold it in your wallet. Your wallet is known as your safe place off of one of the exchanges, like, so the trading doesn't, you know, just in case somebody taps into some of the trading, like, your wallet is like, it's a safer place.
okay.
It's not 100% safe, but neither is the bank. You know, so it's kind of like a security deposit, a safety deposit box might be safer, a safer place, but nothing is 100%. So that's the same way wallets work, digital wallets.
You can't put it under your mattress, that's for sure.
Right. Right. Yeah.
So how do you see crypto and NFTs impacting the future of investing? I mean, we've seen it, you know, seen what it's done so far. Mm-hmm. What do you see in the future? Like, what's your outlook on it?
Well, when it comes to investing, I always look at where I am and what I'm paying attention to, and then I scale that back about 15 years or 20 years. And I understand that the people who will be my age or have my ability in 15 to 20 years are going to pay attention to what they pay attention to. So they're paying attention to video games and digital stuff, and NFT doesn't sound crazy to them, and cryptocurrency doesn't sound crazy to them. So I think that it'll be a dominant form of exchange soon, because people will only get more and more used to it. And I don't know what American currency is going to do, because inflation is going to really make your dollars worth a lot less than you would like for them to be. And it's kind of like with economically, we're kind of like the frogs in the boiling pot of water, right? We don't see it from the outside looking in because we're in it. But if you look at, just take the NFL and look at some of the contracts that some of these players are getting, it's way more than it used to be.
Yeah.
But it's because the dollar is worth way less than it used to be. So that number is bigger. You know, I don't know when was the last time any of y'all filled up your gas tank if you don't have electric cars, but
Arnita does.
yeah,
Just
so
fill her car up. She doesn't need gas.
that's beautiful. But like the dollar amounts are way bigger on everything because the dollar is worth a lot less than it was. And a good hedge bet against that is the crypto market. And I think you're gonna start seeing that a lot of investors, a lot of heavy-handed investors are gonna be more into that. Like you might go to a financial advisor and they will actually talk to you about it. It'll be a conversation. When probably say 2 years ago, it was not even a conversation. So it'll at the very least be a conversation. But another thing, because of the security of blockchain technology, companies will be building this into their infrastructure in order to make information go from one sector to another, or make currency go, or make value go from one sector to another of their business. So with that being infrastructure in business, it will also be worth more because it will be of actual use.
Yeah, imagine me writing an offer for a property through NFT. Like somebody buying it real estate in the metaverse.
Yeah.
I definitely think this is the way of the future. I do.
So you guys see yourself going and buying a fake piece of property in the metaverse?
So I'm just scared that we will miss out on something good.
Yeah. We're running an inventory share. They gotta buy some like, you know, futuristic stuff now.
Yeah, like okay.
You're going to do what?
Look. Okay, so it's like this. What if you could rewind time 20 years, right? Now let's say 25 years. And then, okay, look at it like this. You can rewind time 25 years. But you know what you know now.
Mm-hmm.
What website domains would you buy?
Google.com.
It'd be a whole bunch of them, like all types of things, cars.com, like whatever. And you would sit on them, right?
Yeah, but that's a little bit more tangible to me. Like I could see it, you know, like I could see what a website was going to do for a business or what an app is going to do for a business. Like
25 years ago, you were unable to.
Wouldn't have seen that share.
I disagree with you because 25 years ago, I was 20 years old and I was in college. So I was already using the internet. So I could feel it and I can see it. With this, I mean, I don't think that I just can't feel the tangibility of like I mean, I'm not saying I'm not gonna do it because I gotta always be first in line to do stuff. So I'll do it just to say I did it and set myself up. However, I don't really get buying a piece of land in the metaverse that I'm actually never going to physically touch. So people are going to come visit my metaverse land.
Okay, so look.
Queen is not buying it.
Use the same example, right? So 25 years ago, you were in college, right? And you understood because y'all were using it. 25 years ago, somebody who was in their 40s who wasn't in college would say the same exact thing about websites that you just said about NFTs. Like I can't tangibly, they would have the same thing. So that's what I'm saying. Like you got to tap into people who are like always on their keyboard for entertainment reasons, you know, mainly like video gaming reasons. You know, like they'll like if you watch kids play video games, and it's more than just kids who play video games, but if you watch like their engagement, it's more than just I hope I get the high score. Like they're talking to people all over the world.
Yeah.
And you might need to purchase this little thing to get to the next level, and it's all digital. And in some of their dysfunctional lives, it's real.
Wow.
Like, it's really real to them.
Seen
My,
it.
my daughter's into all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so they're the ones who are going to be the decision makers about, they're going to be the ones who drive the market. And so it's not just because they're young, but it's because they have invested energy into like really learning this with the time they spent.
I think it's the generation too. Like generations drive, trends, and they drive the economy and the market.
Yeah.
Right now, the millennials are running the real estate market.
Mm.
So then you look at who's going to run this NFT, metaverse, Bitcoin market, and it's Gen X or Gen Z. I'm sorry, Gen Z.
Like a while ago, I heard that somebody was telling me that video games are bigger than pro sports, and I was like, "No, you crazy." And now that's like, of course they are. Like it's not even a question about it. Of course they are, And so the evolution is happening so quickly because a lot of people don't have another reality. Like they grew up in their formative years, it was video. And so now they want to go further into video and they want to go further into like, what can I touch? Because all that stuff out there is too expensive and grown up, so they are on their keyboards doing stuff and they have actually messed around and created something. Now, if this is going to sink us all into a place where a door we wish we never opened, that's yet to be seen.
So,
but I also think that like the people who are really in charge of like real money also know the perils that we're in with regards to money we want to call real. And the dollar is just existing because we believe in it.
Exactly.
But the value in the dollar has left out the building a long time ago.
That's why I feel like we like in a real live Monopoly game.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like musical chairs. You better hurry and sit on something before it's a wrap.
I'm going to sit on something, although I don't understand it, but I'm going to sit on
Grindstone, tell us what cryptos you've been investing in and which ones have been doing the best.
Okay, so and they switch up.
And if you tell us some bad ones and we lose money, we're coming to find you. Okay.
Okay. So look, this is the very first thing I want to say. There are two different types of crypto buyers. There's the trader and there's the holder, right? You have to decide which one you are. If you are the trader, you have to set alerts on your phone and you have to be kind of aggressive on it. That's not me, right? That's not me. So I'm into let me see, ones that I have: Bitcoin, Ethereum, Polygon, Solana, Saitama, Loopring, I don't know, and there's some other ones that I met. Binance Coin. They call it Chronos now, but the name for it is Chronos, but it's the one that's made by Crypto.com. So the one where Crypto.com arena is in LA, where Stable's like, so they changed the name to Chronos. It used to be called CRO. And those are the ones that I know off top.
So I use Coinbase to trade my cryptos.
I used to use Coinbase to trade them. What I do now, I have a trust wallet. So a trust wallet is a digital wallet where you can move your cryptos and they'll be off of the exchanges. Because sometimes
more private. Is that like more private than Coinbase?
It is more private, and sometimes when there's heavy trading on the exchange will shut down, right? And you'll have a panic attack.
Yeah, like, there's not enough money in there to have a panic attack, but I do know what you're saying.
Yeah, you're like, man, what's going on? You'd be like hitting your computer, like, man, what's going on? And so, in order to avoid all things, so the person at Coinbase.com doesn't unplug the plug and go to sleep, and I'm worried about that. I move them off the exchanges. So I have a wallet that's called the Trust Wallet. And I also have a couple more wallets. I think I have a Coinbase wallet, but the one I use most is my Trust Wallet. I just kind of like to have it, dig holes and bury it type thing.
All right,
And
so we covered what cryptocurrency to buy, and now we've covered what applications to use to trade.
yeah.
And then any last like advice for someone who's like new and maybe not like, fully experienced on this and maybe just interested in getting into it? What kind of advice can you give?
Never trade more than you can afraid to lose. So that's just smart in general. And I'm telling oh, okay, well, that's the first thing. The other thing, don't take advice from somebody who has not done it.
Right.
Because, people are real aspirational. And then next thing you know, you go all in on what they said and they never did. They're like, dang, that's what I heard from so-and-so on the bus. Right? Yeah, so I can tell you mistakes that I've made. And I don't consider it a loss. I just hold, so like there are some places where I have over invested in something that I saw going up, and then I might have been a little late, and then it's going down or it's just settling. And then had I kept it where it was and all my with this diversity, I would have been up instead of like living and dying with this one that I was just like really hoping for. So I've taken that L. Over a while, they really, they even out if you pick smart and if you kind of stay informed. So holding is cool. Hold.
So where do you educate yourself on that? Like, how do you stay up on what to buy, when to sell, that type of thing? Because I mean,
you just call Grindstone,
right?
Okay, so what I do, I go to dang, let me see. Wait, what is it? I think it's crypto. No, wait, hold on. I'm gonna mess this all up. I go to. Hold up, let me figure this out. Because I just hit it. I don't even look. I forget the name now.
Look, our producer said that Arnita is ready to strike it rich.
I am. I got my notes right here.
So I go to coinmarketcap.com.
CoinMarketCap?
Yeah, coinmarketcap.com. It doesn't give you advice. It's just the most comprehensive place for all for everything.
So is it like they just give you facts and then you kind of make your own conclusion and do your own purchase?
Yeah, so so and you can't purchase on there. It just gives you all the information. You go there, you can read all about the product, you can read about the development team, you can see the trends and the charts and what they call the candles, like as it goes up and goes down.
Yeah, I'm looking at Bitcoin.
So do you check that like every day, multiple times? Like what's your routine?
I used to check it multiple times an hour. But but I don't do it now. I'm just chilling, right? I just it's whatever. I sit back, and then when I have like certain alerts in my phone, like when a certain value goes above a certain number, I'll get it. It'll let me know. But for the most part, I'm treating it like long-term purchases in real estate, like the ones that I have, and so I'm just I'm just sitting on it. But the place I go to find out like advice and information. It's not one place, but there are certain people and articles like on Twitter. I don't know if y'all are like active on Twitter, but I have my algorithm set to certain interests, and finance and cryptocurrency. Those are two of them. And so after a while, you'll be able to see like who's reputable with their advice and who isn't. And I'm less than following a person or a publication.
You're following a topic.
Yeah, I'll follow a topic and I'll follow a company. So if I know that AMC is about to incorporate Loop Ring into what they're doing, I'll be following AMC for I'll just be looking for little hints on what they do. But part of it is me just being in the loop of knowing what to look for because I just inserted myself into this loop. you know, and
So you use a combination of news, purchases amongst companies, which is, that was my move in stocks. I used to work for a firm, asset management firm, but that was like way back in the day. But that's old school way of being in the know, when to purchase things and when to sell off and that type of thing. So
well, see, the beautiful thing about Twitter is that the people
it's immediate.
The people involved in the deal or in the idea are on Twitter talking about it. So like most of the time, by the time it reaches a publication, it might be it's old. Like,
it's old. It's like a month or two old at that.
So you can like get the jump if you have a specific interest, and then if you just have a general interest, just type in Ethereum on Twitter, and I recommend Twitter because it's like a magazine stand with magazines that keep showing themselves, and you can grab one off the shelf, and some of them are comic books, but eventually you'll understand what is the proper information, or you'll understand that this messenger of proper information might be wrong this time. Right. But I just like it because it's like live, and people aren't glued to their belief on Twitter. I found that like I haven't been on Facebook since 2017, but I found that like
what's like that because we on Facebook.
Oh, okay. But I found that on Facebook, people live and die by their conviction, and it's more about like.
But there's a lot of grandmas and aunties on Facebook, though. I think that's why.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, like it was just too. I'm here to die on this hill, on Facebook, and Twitter is like, oh, this is what's happening now. I thought this yesterday. I think this now, and so I like that groove a little bit better, and all the publications put their information on Twitter too, so. It's just easy for me to find what's popping. And because I have, like, I think one undervalued thing in all social medias that allow you to do it is how you choose your interests.
Yeah.
I think like the more you control your interests, like in your settings or whatever, the easier it is for you to build your life and not just get ridiculousness in your mind,
Right.
And if you want ridiculousness in your mind, set it for that. But don't just be like a victim of catching strays of some thoughts that you weren't trying to be set on, And so with me putting one of mine on cryptocurrency, I get a lot of information. Then I might learn about somebody's podcast. Then I go see their podcast, and they had a guest on, and that guest is even deeper. And then I learn about, so it's just like this rabbit hole, for lack of a better term, that I go through when I want to know something.
That's amazing.
Wow. Yeah.
Well, Grindstone, you have been a wealth of information this evening during our Queens of DMV happy hour. We want to thank you for being a guest on our show.
Thank you, but I want to tell you one more thing.
Oh, okay? Yes, please.
All right, so this is to all my people who panic. All right, so this is from, let me see. This is from either 2017 or 2018 when I first started buying, right? These are some notes, okay? And you can go on coinmarketcap.com and look at the difference in value right now. I think, let me see, is this 2017? I can't know because I updated my notes. It's either 2017 or 2018. But Bitcoin, and this is when I thought I missed the train, okay? So it wasn't that long ago, and we have forever to go. All right, Bitcoin. This is when I bought in. $1,843. You hear that number I'm saying? Like when you go to
when you go to what the current value is, it's like 38,000 or something.
I know. I want to know what's the current.
if you go to coinmarketcap.com, that's where you can see all the current values. But Bitcoin, $1,843. Ripple, which is also known as XRP, 35 cents. Ethereum, $95.
Ooh, Ethereum I bought at like $100, and now it's like $3,000.
Yeah, it's crazy. And then there are a whole bunch.
Basically, you got some equity.
I do.
Yeah.
Too. And then there are a whole bunch of the other ones that have like a whole bunch of zeros and funny names. But just like those right there, it's super crazy to just imagine that I thought I was late and I caught it then. And then it might have been like, let me see, it was 2020. I saw a friend of mine and he was like, man, Bitcoin is going up. And I was like, where I ain't checked in a minute. And he told me, he was like, yeah, I think it might even go up as high as 13,000. Now this is just 2020, right? So then I bought I was like, man, I'm gonna cop a whole Bitcoin for 9,000, right? So I bought a whole Bitcoin for 9,000. I was like, man, I hope it goes up. I hope it goes up. But you know, Bitcoin has gone up to as high as like, I'm not sure if it broke the 70,000 mark, but it's just something where you're gonna have your peaks and you're gonna have your lows.
Like the stock.
The general direction of this market is up and out of here.
I think it's one of those things that is just unlimited. The sky's the limit. Like,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And that's what makes it so interesting and such a, viable topic in today's economy.
And another thing, I mean, I don't know if I'm going over the limit. Y'all got like
no, there's no limit. There's no limit.
All right. So another thing about cryptocurrency is that it's global, right? And that's what makes it very attractive to a lot of people. You don't have American crypto versus Indian crypto versus whatever. All these markets are active at whatever time the people are awake, so you can do transactions and you can exchange value and you can watch your thing happen whenever, and they don't take weekends off. And so it's a way that if you want the entry point and the exit point is the bank, right? So that's when they talk about like, we're going to regulate it, we're going to stop this. That just means that country's banks aren't going to allow it. Right. But I have a friend who went to another place, established residency, just so it'll be hard to find like if one country start tripping, they go to another country and withdraw their cryptocurrency conversions.
That's legal?
Yeah. It's totally legal.
That sounds like offshore trading to me.
You can go wherever you want, do whatever you want with this crypto.
I'm just messing with you. Yeah. Look, on this podcast, on this show, we are dedicated to giving our listeners free game. Yeah. Just a wealth of information. And you have been in abundance today. Yeah. Like amazing.
No,
like, I feel like we could talk like another hour with you and you have like more gems to give us. Like at this point, like seriously. But that's our goal for this podcast, and that's our goal for Queens of the DMV. And it's not just for women. We target anyone who's looking to invest, entrepreneurs, definitely. Moms, dads, whoever really, that just want to pick up on topics and free game. And like this topic, like I'm gonna say like we all, know, minimum about it. Mm-hmm. And you came on here and just taught us like so much. And so we appreciate that. And I know our listeners are like taking notes, like seriously at this point.
Yeah. I mean,
you just gave us so much.
No, look, in 2018, I realized I could charge people for this, right? So I was charging $100 an hour to say this, right?
I don't even get paid that to sell real estate.
Right. And people who listen came up, so I wasn't beating nobody. And then like that the Christmas of 2017, I think. I'm not sure if it was 2017 or 2018, but I went home. I was like, to get everybody together, sat everybody down. I was like, look, I bought nothing, but I'm going to tell you this, right? And I don't know how many of the people follow, like, or listen to whatever, but it is very valuable as we go into the future. And just this is the last thing I'm going to say about it, because, I know y'all got production times or whatever, but currently in the market, the crypto market is low right now. Okay. It's a green day, which means that things are going up today, but generally like at this juncture, it's at a low point. And the current investment in the cryptocurrency market globally is $1.85 trillion.
Wow.
So $1.85 trillion is real. It's not a fad.
Exactly.
So people have taken 1.85 trillion of their currency that we considered real for the past however many years and turned it into this, and more is to follow. So those numbers are real.
I'm still going to say that real estate, traditional real estate investing is safe and always the way to go.
I'm not mad at that, but
you have to know about it, and you have to really stay on topic, on key. You have to be, you told us, like, you got to keep up with, what's going on. And I'm going to say real estate, you can buy and hold, and you can just chill.
Yeah.
You know, like,
but tell me this.
Safest ways to invest still.
Yeah.
All different,
These two things are not mutually exclusive. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What if somebody wanted to buy a home from you for $1 million?
Pay me in Ethereum, please.
Right. Yeah. And then, right. So like both pieces of information are valid, right? So it's just, so you can sell real estate, but if you want to accept the dollar, look at the state and the health of the dollar. If you want to accept another means of trade, then look at that, and so that's where this comes as healthy competition, because it's something where people are like, yeah, give me Bitcoin, give me Ethereum, and it's up to you and that person, and that's the coolest thing about it. And people who are ready for that, some people live a cryptocurrency life.
Listen, we're going to always diversify our portfolio. So Flip Queen, she knows how to diversify her portfolio. We all diversify our portfolio based on what's available. So at the end of the day, we're going to have a little real estate, a little crypto, keep the party going.
Right. No.
Yes. I'm on the hunt for some fake ass land.
But I'm telling you, talk to your children or your children's friends or the younger people in your family, those who are really into video games, right? And just not like the casual one, but the ones who are in it and like they be buying stuff to get to the next level and all that, who are really into it. Like they know some information that you could use, but they don't know the value of the information that they've been learning through what they do.
Well, awesome. Thank you, Grindstone.
You're welcome.
Again.
Grindstone.
Yeah. We trying to get some digital chips, You can't even do like this with those, though. I don't know what you do. Yeah.
It's all right.
Right. Yeah.
Well, thank you for joining us today. We're going to close out for the evening. Subscribe to our podcast on Spotify, Apple, and YouTube. We drop our episodes every Thursday at 4 p.m. Thank you for joining the Queens of the DMV Happy Hour special.
All right.
And that's it for now. Thank you so much.
All right.
For my co-host, Cher Castillo.
Signing off.
See ya.
Myself, Grindstone.
Peace.
We're signing out for the evening.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks.